Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gregory Home Team of Keller Williams and Haugen's Gallery. For more information on the Gregory Home Team and their real estate services, go to sellwithgregory.com. And for Haugen's Gallery's portrait studio and your personal branding needs, go to haugensgallery.com. Whoop, 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 whoop. Already. I love that music. Oh my goodness. I am just ready to roll today. I'm ready to laugh today. Are you ready to laugh? Well, I tell you, I am so excited. You know, here you are joining us on Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie, with your inspiration specialist. And today we have the Laughter Man, Pete Cann, who is amazing from Bristol, England. He is such a great friend. I'm so glad to have him back in here today. And so today you're just going to be, you got to start sharing this out. Got to start letting people know. If you have not laughed your little hind end off for a long time, today's your day. So get going. Let people know that we are here. Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. It is every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You might say, what does laughter have to do with marketing and with connecting? Pretty much everything. We all need to laugh more. We all need to smile more. We all need more kindness, love, and great things in this world. And it all starts with a good smile and a good laugh. And you know what? We just don't do that enough. You know, when we grow up, sometimes we get too serious. We get thinking, you know, we're trying to do this adulting thing. And sometimes we forget. Sometimes you got to just take a deep breath and you got to laugh. I was so blessed yesterday speaking to a group, and I used one of Pete's laughter exercises, and people love it. It makes everybody just feel so much better. So we're going to hear all about that. I'm going to let him tell you more about himself. As you can tell, I am fired up and ready to go. But first, I want to remind you. So yes, I am Russ Hedge. I am your inspiration specialist. I am a marketing and sales coach. I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a live streamer. Bet you didn't guess that, huh? And I'm even producing live streams nowadays. So if you want to get into live streaming and you don't know how to do it, you can connect with me. I would love to help you. I can either produce it for you, or I would just love to help you along the way. Want to let you know, I'm going to tell you this a couple times today too, that today at noon Pacific Standard Time, if you are just curious about live streaming and how to do it and maybe make a little money on it, because, you know, we all have to make a living and an income as we go, come to my How to Monetize Your Live Stream in 5 Simple Steps. And you know what? It's free, because I monetized my workshop today. I have a sponsor for my workshop, so I can offer it to you, my listeners, my viewers, for free. Go to the Eventbrite links that you'll see all throughout my social media and on LinkedIn and Facebook, all over the place, and put in the promo code FREE, and it'll be free. So there you go. You will save the $97 price of that class. So there you go. I want you to come today, be part of that. It'll be exciting. You'll learn something. It's only an hour long, noon to 1, and it's free. So come to that. Anyway, Also, just want to remind you, remember, I am the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. You know what? Life happens, but then we choose, right? And you can choose to be amazing. And that's what the book's all about. And so you can go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all online booksellers. If you're in the Oregon or Southwest Washington area, you can even go to local bookstores and pick it up. So if you're interested in that, you can also go to russhedge.com and buy book now and get it on my website straight from the publisher. I would love to help you out through this book if I can. So please do that. Please do that. And I would love to just inspire and encourage you through that. I always tell you before we bring Pete in, my purpose and my why in life is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose driven life of significance. And what does that mean? I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to be a world changer. I want you to do the amazing things God has created you to do. That's right. And so if I can do that in any of the ways I've explained to you, please let me help you. You can go to russhedge.com and connect with me. We can just chat. You can go to russhedge.com. You can schedule time on my calendar and actually Zoom with me, and we could talk face to face. If you're in my local area, let's go grab coffee. But any way you'd like to do that, through social media, messaging, whatever, please reach out to me. My email and my phone number is even on that website, russhedge.com, and I would love to help you out. I'm going to throw this up here really quick before we bring Pete on. I always say if I was quick enough, I would have this up while I was saying it. And so, and it's sitting right here, ready to go, russhedge.com, russhedge.com. And actually, my wonderful and helpful teammate who is behind the scenes working for me so hard. She's so wonderful. I'm sure she's already put it in the comments as well. So there it is, russhedge.com. That's enough. Here we go. We are going to get Pete in here and get things rolling along. So here we go. Hello, Pete.
How are we doing, Russ? You okay?
I am so good. I'm so good. You know, when I do this, so ever since we initially met, I told you this, I have done one of your laughter exercises at every speaking engagement that I've had. And I always tell them it's my friend Pete from Bristol, England has taught me this. And I want to give you guys the joy of laughter. People love it. It makes people feel so good. I just laugh at myself. You know, I said, if nothing else, you know, if you sound ridiculous trying to do it, it makes you laugh all the more because you're just, laughter is such a wonderful medicine. So Pete, I'm so glad to have you here today. Thanks for being here.
Well, it's my pleasure, Russ. It's my pleasure. And it's so nice to hear that, you know, my little laughter exercise is just rippling its way out around the world.
It is. It is. And you know what? I know all about your laughter stuff and the things that you're doing, and you're amazing. But you need to let everybody that's watching today, who let them know who Pete is, who the Laughter Man is, and what you're doing.
Sure. So thank you for the opportunity, Russ. So yeah, my name's Pete Cann, the Laughter Man. I'm based in the UK, and I've been running laughter yoga sessions for teams. Team meetings for the past, probably since lockdown, to be fair, Russ. So, you know, I have got another business that I've been doing for 13 years, running a chef agency or hospitality agency. Quite sizable. We were doing really well for ourselves. And then obviously COVID came along and closed hospitality down. So I dived into laughter yoga as a coping mechanism for my own mental well-being. And within probably about 3 weeks, someone approached me and said, hey, can you run this in my team? Because ultimately everyone was feeling a little bit, disjointed, I suppose, and apart from each other. So I said, yeah, sure, let me come on and help you. And so I run this 30-minute session on Zoom with them. And from there, it's just snowballed and it's just kept building traction that actually now the hospitality agencies is bubbling back up, which is fantastic. But rather than spending most of my time on that and less time on the red hat stuff, now I'm virtually full time running laughter sessions, which is amazing. So I get to laugh every day for at least 10 minutes because I start my day with laughter anyway. But like today I've run 3 sessions. I'm just full of it. Love it.
Well, that is so awesome. And you told me you just came off a session and you're feeling good. So why don't you start today by doing one of your laughter exercises with everybody? I'm ready.
Fantastic. Well, we'll just do the breathing exercise, I think, Russ, just to get everyone a little, because people are looking at it going, well, I don't know if I can laugh for no reason. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to laugh for no reason. So what we're going to do is, everybody who's watching or listening, please do this, right? So take a deep breath in and just let out a long sigh. Okay, so now we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to let out a long ha. Okay, so deep breath in. We're just going to go ha. And that's all laughter is. It's just a ha or an out breath. Now the fun bit, we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds, and then we're going to laugh for 10 seconds, like it's the funniest thing we've done all day. Okay, so deep breath in. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and... Oh, there you go.
That is so awesome. I tell you, that is the exercise, the basic one I do with people at the beginning. And it's kind of a release, isn't it? It's kind of just like all of that pressure and stress. It just goes away. I love it. Thank you.
And you get a nice spike of endorphins as well. So, when we're getting the blood pumping around our body, our endorphins, which are a happy hormone, fired up. And then literally you just, like you say, you release all of this energy that maybe was pent up from, whatever, even if it's just driving to the meeting that you were going to, and you're just a bit like, oh, so actually laughing that off is really, really important, I feel, before we go and, make a sales call, or before we, step into a meeting. It's a release, and it opens up so many things in your brain. Like creative mind is, I'm rushing a lot of the time, Russ, where all these ideas are just flying from laughing. I laugh, and then I see something, that's a really good idea, and I'll just go off on, maybe it's a shiny toy as well. Sometimes I'm just like, whoa, but I'm enjoying myself.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, you are enjoying yourself. And so you started with laughter yoga. Tell everybody, what is laughter yoga?
So laughter yoga is basically the concept that we can laugh for no reason at all. We don't need humor. We don't need jokes. Okay. It's all about the yoga bit. Always gets people a bit confused. They're thinking, are we downward dogs? Are we yoga mats? And it's none of that. It's all about yogic breathing, sort of deep yogic breathing, because again, 20% of oxygen in our bottom of our lungs, we hardly ever breathe it out. So when we laugh on an exhale, we're exhaling all of that dead oxygen and getting the fresh stuff back in. And probably the most important thing about laughter yoga that sort of blows my mind every time I speak about it is the fact that our bodies don't know the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. So we do this childlike, playful, fake laughing exercises. And then there's this little click in the brain, and all of a sudden you are genuinely laughing. And then you get that full belly laugh. And it's just, when you get to that full belly laugh, Russ, and you just can't stop, that's just the magical point.
Well, I would agree with that 100%. Okay. So how many people watching today, we've all been here before, have been to that point where it gets late at night, you're a little tired, and you're watching something and it just strikes you and you cannot stop. You're crying so hard. And, it's funny because I'm a super early morning guy. Pete, we've talked about that. I'm a 4 a.m. guy, right? So by 8 o'clock, I'm pretty much slumping, right? And so late at night when I'm watching something that's really not that funny, it's hysterically funny to me. And sometimes I'll be crying and I'll tell my family, I know it's really not that funny, but it just seems so funny. And you're just laughing and you can't stop. There's nothing better than that feeling, to where you're laughing so hard you can't, and you're trying to explain something to somebody about why it's funny, and you can't actually say it because it's just great. It's just great.
And that's the thing as well, like you say, you and then all of a sudden you feel awake, Russ. You feel awake from that little laughter spike. But then I can guarantee you sleep really well as well by having that laughter, because you're releasing all of this sort of tension that you've had in your body through the day. That actually, when you get to, so when I run laughter sessions, I often ask the people, like, how did you sleep the night before? And a lot of people will say, I had the best night's sleep I've had in a long time because of this, energy release, basically.
Right. Oh, that's exactly. I mean, it is. And So you back up just a little bit. So you came out of the hospitality, or you're still doing that, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You backed up. Thank you. So and so you're still got that going on. How are you balancing all of that, or are you integrating what you're doing now and making it kind of a combo package? Do you laugh with everybody and serve them at the same time?
So basically, we supply we supply chefs to hospitality. So so if you ran a restaurant and your chef was on holiday, or if they were ill, then you would ring us and we would put a chef in place to help out. Now, lucky for me, my beautiful wife Chloe, we started the business together. So she basically heads up the business now. So I'm more of I'm quite hands off now. I basically we'll have one meeting a week where we talk about the marketing, talk about the sales and the processes, and but literally because Chloe now can see actually what I'm doing over here is making a difference into not only people's lives that ultimately are getting the laughter from when I run the sessions, but also our own personal life, because we're going through a bit of a transition with moving house, and you know how stressful that can be, getting the
Right.
mortgage, all of that stuff. So actually laughing that energy and laughing off that anxiety is really, really important. So ultimately when it comes to the other business, Chloe's heading that one up, and which is nice actually, because for anybody that's watching that works who's in a relationship but also works together, can understand that it can get quite testing, because unless you've got different hats, pardon the pun, it can be quite hard running a relationship, running a business with your loved one. So actually once this started and this started to pick up traction, all of a sudden our conversations have changed. So we're not always talking about the one business all the time. We're actually talking about life, as well as I'll talk about the laughter. Chloe will talk about the chef agency, and our relationships definitely got a lot stronger because of it.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I think it's how you approach things. And I think when you're coming from such a joyful platform to start with, how can it not be fun? How can it, and it doesn't mean life isn't still hard. And there's a lot of, I was talking to somebody the other day, and, what people see on the surface is the fun and the good part of business. What people don't realize when you go into any kind of business is all the stuff on the back end that you have to do that maybe you don't really like to do. It's not really your thing, but it goes along. It's the package, right? And so you either buckle down and you do it, or you're like me and you get other people to do it for you. So
yeah, definitely. Russ, I'm a firm believer of outsourcing stuff that isn't your bag. Basically, we've all got skills, and actually we've got passions as well, and we've got things that we're really good at. And actually, if we can sit in that world and then let other people, there's people that love doing admin, there's people that love doing all that, that's their bag. Whereas for me, put me on a stage, put me in front of the camera, this is where I would naturally be. But if I was to ask Chloe to come in here now and get onto camera, she would just be like, no chance, I'm not doing that. So it's finding your place, isn't it, in any business? Right. And also, because I think when you run a business, Russ, it's you start resenting it if you start doing things that you don't really it's usually not what you're passionate, it's stuff that you're not good at. Ultimately, know deep down, and it'll make it to the bottom of your to-do list, and it will bounce, won't it? Day after day after day, until the point where you've got to go, someone else needs to do that and free my head up. So it's important.
Well, it's interesting too, because when I'm on the computer, so just along with what you said, when I'm on the computer like this with you chatting and laughing, I'm all good with that, right? When I'm connecting and dealing with people and enjoying life, I'm all good with that. But if I'm staying on the computer all day long doing stuff, I'm not all good with that. I just don't. I'm a people person, and I'm a mover. I'm not really good at sitting for long periods of time, right? And so I am blessed with someone on my team who helps me amazingly behind the scenes, doing a lot of that computer work that they enjoy doing. And it helps me a lot. And when the first thing I got when I started business was a good bookkeeper and a good tax person, because I definitely don't like doing that stuff. Not only do I not like doing it, but I suck at it. I'm horrible, right? So yeah, you don't want me handling your finances. When I go in to consult on businesses, I tell them, I can give you ideas about profit and prosperity and how to do things that will bring, money into your business, but you don't want me managing it. I mean, it's enough for me to manage my home management. So and I think that is so important because, this is why collaboration, teamwork, and everything is so important today. And when you're able to bring then joy into it, right? When you're able to bring in the joy of laughter and all the things you got around it. That's why I'm sure that when you started down this path, what a release, especially during a super stressful time, to be able to do this and be able to expand on that. So you did the yoga laughter, and now you're doing online laughter with people too. Tell us a little bit more about that. I mean, what did you just come off of? What kind of a thing were you doing before the show?
Yeah, so I do a laughter live. So same platform on StreamYard. I invite people from all over the world to come along for 15 minutes live show. Where I literally ask them 3 very simple questions and then I run a session. But I utilize that as a marketing tool ultimately, because it goes on to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of the platforms where people can actually just feel my energy and see what I do. And actually, it's been a game changer, because especially the afternoon one, because I'm similar to you, Russ. I wake up early, I'm on fire. Starts getting to like this time, 4:30 in the UK. I'm starting to feel a little bit tired now, So actually having that laughter bit really does spike. And sort of to cut into that slightly, there's times where even the laughter man doesn't feel like laughing. It's like I'll see that I've got an appointment at 3:30 and I think, I've got to, and especially when it's the live, because they're not paid jobs. So obviously if it's a paid job, you've got to turn up, you've got to put the hat on, you've just got to, you've got to be on form. But I always feel better, always 100% feel better after I've laughed with people. So I have a couple of free complimentary offerings. I go to Clubhouse as well. It's something that I do every morning, 8:15 in the UK. So obviously it's early hours for you guys, but for 10 minutes, I know there is the odd American on there sometimes, and you can tell it's late in the evening, obviously, or early morning. But I use that 10 minutes selfishly because it sets me up for the day, laughing with 15, 20 people on the stage. And all we do is laugh. We don't talk. It's literally 10 minutes of laughter. I sign out and then I just bounce off, take the kids to school and, get on with my day. So the laughter live stuff is across the platforms. The Clubhouse laughter, again, is a complimentary thing, and then there's the paid service where, like I said at the beginning, I come on to into Zoom rooms. I mean, I did a session last week for 120 people and I had them all laughing, which was fantastic. And it's just but then yesterday I did a session with I think there's 3 people that turned up, but again, it was that intimate laughter that actually was even if it's one, Russ, it's all good. Just that's one little ripple to my million target. So
no, and it's interesting because it's what you're doing when you're giving out the laughter, you're giving out joy and kindness. It always helps you out. It always builds you up. I mean, all the time. When I want to be encouraged, I encourage other people. When we want to laugh with other people. When you want to smile at other people, right? You get back what you're sending out, and that helps you so much. Yesterday, the group that I spoke to, I have some of the best speaking engagements when they're small groups, maybe 20 people, super engaged. I was talking about my book. A whole bunch of them bought the book and we're super excited and encouraged and engaged. I love that because sometimes bigger audiences are not as engaged, and so it was, it was great. And again, I taught this to my kids from the time they were little, and that was it's what you do. It's not what others do for you. So if you want to spread that joy, it's always, no matter what, even if there's grump heads and you're laughing and they're still frowning and sourpusses, it's, what? Oh, well, I'm happy. I'm going to be joyful. I'm going to laugh. Right.
Yeah, completely. Because the thing is as well, people's, you cannot help but pick up on energies. So especially in person, but you do pick up on Zoom as well. So when people are not engaged, I can't personally help sucking into that. There's always that one guy or lady at the bottom who's just going, and it's weird. Like on Zoom, you sort of like, you just get attracted to that person, just like, why are you not laughing? And then, but I learned quite early on, it's just like, either use a sticky note, like so, and put it over the top of their screen.
That is so funny.
But on Zoom is a really good way of putting it on speaker mode as well. So ultimately, anyone that makes the noise comes onto the screen, and then that's lush, because ultimately you just see all these different people losing it to laughter, which is amazing.
Right. Well, it's interesting because I have always been drawn when there's audiences, I'm always drawn to the people smiling and looking joyful. I purposely have learned to look away from the people not that way, just because it feeds me positive energy, And what's really interesting is years ago when I got into ministry and I was leading worship, and I'm up in front of a church leading songs joyfully to the Lord, right? And there's a whole lot of people that don't look too joyful that we're doing this. And it was the first time I realized, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to be, I always say, be an actor, not a reactor. And I don't mean to be fake. I just mean you have to do what you're doing, be joyful, be the way you are, your authentic self, and all that you're doing, no matter what other people are feeding back. Because if you depended on what other people were doing all the time, sometimes you would be, not really good. And then when I was leading worship, my first thought was, what in the world has the pastor been doing all these years, looking at some of these people? How does he stay so joyful and upbeat? And so I just think that it's great. It's so great what you do. And I want to encourage everybody today: laugh, have joy in life, do the great things, and be your happy self, right? I know we can't be happy all the time, but why not try to be as joyful as we can all the time? Because, I tell you, Pete, and I'm sure that you would be the first to say this, good example you just gave us during COVID and all this stuff, when things were not happy and not good with your other business, the laughter man brought joy and happiness, because you can still find that through whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it's, like I said at the beginning, when hospitality shut down, there were times where me and Chloe were literally screaming into pillows, because our business went from 7 figures to, we lost 30%. But like literally, we took mortgage holidays. We took, we lost an office. We left. A couple of people moved on, and it was literally, we've come out of it owing a bit of money, which is fine. It's only a little bit. So, but there's a lot of businesses out there that couldn't survive and couldn't get through that. So, but a lot of people were looking at me at the beginning, I know, and just thinking, well, why are you laughing, Pete? What, or it's really good that you're laughing about it, but surely it's quite serious. I was like, it's really serious what's happening, but I can't change anything. I cannot change what's going on, but I can change this thing. And I'm really engaged with the way that I think. And again, don't get me wrong, there's days, mate, where I'm in a funk and I can't be bothered to just anything. But you've got to just get yourself into that right headspace to then help others as well. So it is serious, and we're coming out of it now. Definitely, the UK is definitely coming out of it, which is amazing. And bookings are picking up, and life is starting to move, which is amazing. But I feel blessed that actually I found my calling as well. And sometimes I feel a bit bad saying that, because obviously people have lost their lives and livelihoods and stuff. But everything happens for a reason, and I see the way COVID, because we've decided to move house to a nicer part of the UK. We now work remotely rather than actually in an office, so therefore we could take the whole business to near the coast. And and then ultimately the laughter man has come from something that I didn't realize this was why I was put here, but actually the more I keep doing it, and the more I mean, I was on a big stage last week with 1,000 people, and it's just like, this is where I need to be. This is my natural habitat, and I didn't even know it was my natural habitat until I stood there and went, "Oh, this is nice." So it's
well, let me tell you, it is definitely your natural habitat. And what I love is first of all, I mean, I'm all about live the life you choose, right? We all have choices. When
Hmm.
COVID hit, everybody had a choice. Now,
Hmm.
I'm not minimizing, like you said, I am not minimizing that horrible, terrible things happen to people
Hmm.
and their businesses and loved ones and all kinds of things. So, first, let me say, heartfelt praying for everybody who's suffered horrible loss because I know that happens. But where are we going from there? Are we
Hmm.
living in that space, or are we coming using our mindset and our train of thought to actually move us in a positive direction? What you did with the Laughter Man is amazing. I had other businesses in my area that were devastated, but actually that overused word pivoted, and they made
Hmm.
changes so they could do either what they were doing different or something different to keep
Hmm.
moving. And some of them did very, very well because
Hmm.
they were just smart and they moved. And some people say, well, I can't do sending chefs to people when no restaurants are open. Well, you're right. But what
Mm.
can you do? What can you do while no restaurants are open, right? That's
Yeah.
the thing right there. So, hey, we could go on forever, Pete, but we're already out of time. So what I want you to do is tell everybody just last words from you, what you want everybody to remember, and then how do they get in touch with you if they want to engage your services or just chat and laugh with you?
So I would say the best platform, social platform, would be LinkedIn. That's where I am, Pete Cann, the Laughter Man, and just come and say hi. Come and link in with me. You know, I'm really active, and if you want to come onto my Laughter live show, I would love to have you along for a laugh. And it's one of these things where you can watch from the outside, but actually until you actually physically feel it, yeah, it's a different emotion. And the final thing, actually, Russ, I've got, if anyone in the San Francisco area is watching, I've got a vision to be on stage in front of 2,000 people laughing, bringing laughter to things. So I'm just putting it out there, Russ. Somebody somewhere will know someone that knows someone. So just hook me up, and I'll feel blessed for that.
Well, let me tell you that if you come to San Francisco, please make sure that we connect because I will fly down and stay with my son and drive to San Francisco. He lives down in the Pasadena area, and we'll have to, or we can meet in between wherever you're performing. If I can't make it there, at least we can get together and laugh and have coffee or lunch.
Definitely.
That would be
100%.
that
100%.
that would be so awesome. Okay, well, listen, I got to wrap things up. So thank you everybody for watching. Now, listen, I know that a ton of people you're watching on replay. I get it. Everybody's busy. Okay, so Pete and I both know that because you're live streaming doesn't mean everybody's watching live. So please make sure and share this out. Share the joy and the laughter that Pete has. This great medium where I can bring in amazing people who connect, and Pete connects through laughter and through joy, through business and life. So today, make sure you get in touch with him. We have all of his contact links in the show notes and in the comments. And it has just been so great to have you here today. And what I'm going to do, Pete, is send you to the green room. Hang tight while I wrap things up, but we'll touch base before you go. Oh, that is so good. So good. So good. Oh, my goodness. Well, I would agree, Joseph. It's a freaking fantastic show. The laughter is so joyful. And this is so great for me. I get to bring in these amazing people. I get to have the friends who do these amazing things. So if you're out there, I mean, we are booking like crazy. I have no problem getting guests, but if you've ever been interested, you want to talk to me about that, go to russhedge.com. I'm always happy to talk about that. But most of all, I want to connect with you. I want to get to know you. RussHedge.com. You know, my goal for this new year is to make at least 1,000 new contacts and connections. And what I really mean by connections is getting to know, talk with you, actually communicate with you. And so that sounds like a daunting number, but really it's less than 3 people a day over the year. And I am a major connector as it is. So I love people. So if you want to connect with me, again, go to russhedge.com. I love to chat with you. I just want to say hashtag 1,000 thanks to everybody. Please jump on the bandwagon of that. Be thankful. You know, we started that around Thanksgiving, and it has just caught on, and everybody is using hashtag 1,000 thanks just to remind each other to be thankful for all that we've got, all the gifts that God has given us. And I am just so thankful for each one of you here today. And so with that said, if you don't remember, every Monday and Thursday, okay, we're here. Remember that, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Love to see you. Love to have you here. Don't forget, at noon today is the workshop on how to monetize your live stream. It's free with the promo code FREE. Just look for the links in the show notes here and in the comments. You can go directly there and sign up for free. Love to see you for an hour today at noon Pacific Standard Time. Until we see you again, which will be next Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great day and a great life. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.